Commission recently, pretty recently, released their first annual grocery report. In fact, we talked about it here on the platform. They painted a concerning picture, those were the words, concerning picture of the industry that is worth $25 billion. Now, the report found increasing retail margins, continued high levels of profitability, and ongoing dominance of the industry by the major supermarkets. So an industry that is already on the back foot with the consumer should be doing all it can, would you not think, to be as transparent and honest as they claim they are. But in a move that's been described as surprising and disappointing by a consumer, they like these words, New World and Pack and Save have decided to remove online shoppers' ability to sort items by price. According to the consumer advocacy group, the change had been made very quietly to both supermarket brands' websites, adding shoppers are used to having the option and other retailers, including the Warehouse and Woolworths, still offer it. Marketing expert Bodo Lang from Massey University, he joins me now. Bodo, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good long weekend, Bodo. What'd you do? Get out in the garden, relax, what catch up with friends?
I'm one of those people that likes active relaxing. So I was out on my bicycle, on the mountain bike on Saturday, and then on Sunday on the road. So I clocked in a good 105 kilometres. So that was good.
Bodo, my neck. Oh, you're not a mammal, are you, Bodo? You're not a middle-aged man in Lycra.
I absolutely am, but I'm very careful not to frequent cafes where other patrons are visible. So I try to hide myself away in the corner.
Oh, nice. Okay, Bodo. Hey, look, let's talk about what's happening here with New World and Pack and Save. What's the issue here?
Look, the issue is really simple. It's that we need a transparent marketplace where consumers can make well-informed decisions. And, the ability to sort by price on a website is a really, really basic functionality. And Foodstuffs unfortunately removed that ability to sort by price on the New World and Pack and Save website. So, groceries are tricky. They're like housing. It's not an optional purchase. You have to purchase them. So, we want to make sure that people really make great purchase decisions here, and not being able to sort by price, I think, will really affect those people that that really don't have that much money, because this is just taking that ability away, basically.
And without the lowest price option available, does that mean the home brands will dominate? Because is that like the default now? Will that ultimately add to their bottom line?
There's certainly, that's one possible effect. So at the moment, the default sorting, if you browse or if you search for a product, is by popularity, whatever exactly that might mean. And so I think there is a real risk that, home brands, which are basically the manufacturers, the supermarket brands, that they will then dominate the results. And we know from plenty of research in the grocery kind of sector, basically, that if something is more visible, people are more likely to buy it, because most people are, they don't go to the second page of Google search results. Well, they're not going to go to page 49 of the milk and look for Anchor there, So it's, it's really tilting the playing field, basically.
Yeah, speaking of that research, you've also said that customers will react negatively, highly negatively, if their choices are restricted. So by doing this, do we feel automatically that somehow they're hiding something from us? Is that what we jump to?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a really well-known theory in consumer behavior, and it's called reactance theory. And basically, if you're presented with a set of choices, so, vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream, strawberry ice cream, and you then state your preference that you really want chocolate, and then the vendor says, well, actually, chocolate isn't available. Two things happen. You want chocolate even more now that it's not available, and you really dislike the vendor because they've just restricted your choices. And so this is, reactance, consumer reactance, and it's really it's not just a theory, it's a real thing. It happens across all sorts of categories and, for men and women and old and young. And, this is one of those things where consumer reactance is likely to occur, because people go, well, hang on, I used to use this last week, or last month or whatever it was, and now they can't. And generally, consumers don't react well to having their freedoms curtailed.
What do you think the supermarkets need to do, Bodo? Like, do they have a very hard job ahead of them? Because, as I mentioned, the first annual grocery report came out from the Commerce Commission, last month, and they basically said, you heard me say, it was still a very concerning picture of the industry. Like, we see the ads on telly and they're all, so-and-so saved so-and-so, and I didn't think I could shop here, but I can. And, I mean, does it, I still feel that when I step in the supermarket, it's going to cost me more than it should. I mean, how hard is it for them to really prove that they are not supposedly ripping us off?
I think it's a great question, Leah, and I think this is not often that it happens, but I think there's one word in which I can answer that question, and it's transparency. If they had been transparent about this temporary change to their websites, people wouldn't have been up in arms. If they would have said something like, Whittaker's chocolate, they recently increased their prices because prices for raw ingredients went up. If Foodstuffs would have said, look, we're really sorry, we're changing our e-commerce platform. For the next 4 weeks, you can't sort by price. We're really sorry. This is just temporary. Just be upfront about it. It's really, really straightforward stuff. And, if they want to restore trust, and, they've repeatedly said that their profitability levels are nothing like what the Commerce Commission alleges. Well, if they're so sure, open up the box, and do it in private. Obviously, there's many commercial sensitivities involved. If they really are serious, they could say, look, we're happy to disprove you, and show that we're just, skating on thin ice here with our profits, And if that's the case, then they can prove it. Every business should be able to make a profit, but I think when it comes to a mandatory purchase of groceries, and there's these allegations which haven't been disproven, I think transparency would solve the problem for them.